Hello everybody, it's me Baby Couscous, and at the end of Browsing the Deep Web episode 1 I promised I'd tell you how to install a virtual machine so you could use the deep web. So I guess that's what we're going to do in this video. So the operating system, well I guess I'll just preface by saying what a virtual machine is. Essentially, a virtual machine is an operating system running on top of a host operating system. For example, what we're going to be doing is taking a program and loading operating systems onto that. And so from my Windows 10 base operating system, going into that program and launching Linux Tails, which is this operating system that we're going to be using for browsing the deep web. I want to make something very, very clear. You can browse the deep web on Windows, however, do not do that because Windows makes up the vast majority of the market for computers, so therefore hackers are going to make viruses specifically for Windows, so it is very highly suggested that you use anything but that. Mac users, you should be alright, but still, just to be safe, I would use some form of Linux operating system, specifically Tails, because it is made for browsing the deep web. So I guess to begin, let's begin by just installing the Tails operating system. So we're going to come down here to get Tails 4.19. Maybe in the future you'll be on 4 point something above that, but generally, I mean, I've visited this site for years and years, and it hasn't changed much. So if you're watching this video years in the future, this should still be helpful. So what you're going to do is you're not going to click any of these. You're going to get this 4 virtual machines ISO image down here. Open that. And then you're just going to download Tails 4.19 ISO image. I'm not going to do that because it's a whole gigabyte and I don't have time for that, and I already have that. So once you have that installed, just save that to your desktop. Alright, so now this is the part of the video where I'm going to show you how to download the software to actually run your ISO images as operating system and refer to systems as virtual machines. So I will link this in the description, this link right here. As you can see, this is just 6.1.2 for 64-bit operating systems. So as far as I can tell, there is no 32-bit option. The way you can tell if you have a 64-bit operating system is if you hit Windows key and then System Information. And then as you can see, where'd it go? I have an x64 based PC, which means I have a 64-bit PC. So if you have a 32-bit PC based on your system information, you will not be able to run this. So you can hit download now. And yeah, I already have it installed. So just save it, follow the execution wizard, and then it should just be installed. So there's that part. Alright, so here I am on my desktop where, as you can see, I saved the Tails operating system. So go into so we're actually going to start this operating system now. We have everything ready, we can just get into it. So hit Windows key and just type in VMWare. Open that up. Wait for it to load. As you can see, I already have it installed, but I hope I can make another one. Actually, you know what? I will just delete from this library. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to hit Player, File, New Virtual Machine. What you're going to do is install disk. We will do Browse. I will do desks. I'll load it from the desktop. So boom, open. You're going to hit Next. That warning, I think that should be fine. You're going to choose. Oh, sorry. It's not Microsoft Windows. You're gonna hit Linux, and you're going to do just what I did was I just messed around with these different kernel bases until I got one that works. I got lucky my first try and did other Linux 5.x and later kernel 64-bit. So just click that, hit Next. And then virtual machine name, just call it Linux Tails. Next. Store virtual disk as a single file. That will just make everything so much easier. You're going to hit customize hardware because it has some strange hardware stuff. So for memory, you're gonna want to give it about not four, about 3 gigs of RAM. Well, this is all based on your hardware. So just again, you'd be able to check out your hardware on your system information, and just look for your processor and RAM and maybe a graphic card if you have one, and then just do this slider based on that information. So processors, I'm just gonna give it 2, just because that's all it really needs. It's a really bare bones operating system, as you'll see. I guess it doesn't detect my video card. That's strange. Anyway, that is all you need. Since you might be downloading, browsing the deep web on this, you're going to want to change your monitor settings to something that is more common. For example, you're gonna, as for my monitor, I'm gonna do 1920 by 1080. I don't remember why, but on the deep web, if you have a strange monitor resolution, that is terrible. That is horrible. You do not want to have a strange monitor setting. So, yeah, make it something that is common. For example, 1920 by 1080 is a perfectly common resolution, and that is safe to use. So everything is ready to go. You're just gonna hit close, and you're gonna hit finish, and then it's loading up and it's ready to go. So hopefully I did everything right and I didn't have any hiccups during this recording. This should be ready to go. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, good, it worked. This, you're just, whenever it says software updates, just remind me later. It's going to ask you every time. Oops, there we go. Alright, so this is just Tails opening. It's ready to go. And I will give you a tour around this operating system just because it's, yeah, it's a little, all you really need to know is where Tor is. That's all you will ever use this operating system for. And every time this, I guess we'll just give a description of this operating system while it's loading up. This operating system is designed for browsing the deep web. Every time you boot it up, it is completely fresh. Everything that you ever left on it is just gone. So you start Tails, and I believe it comes installed with a VPN, if I'm not mistaken, because whenever I browse the internet, it says I'm in the Netherlands and then another time France. That's not a good, maybe that's a full screen. There we go. Okay, so this is Tails. As you can see, Tor is ready. You can now access the internet. Just make sure you're actually on the internet. If it says wired connection and you're on a wireless, that's just emulating a wired connection. So don't fret. So you just go over to applications and start Tor browser. Since I gave it like literally the most bare bones specifications it could possibly have, it's going to be a little slow. But here it is. Yep, that's Tor. And this is, if it ever loads, this is the front page of the deep web. I've never actually gotten this to load, so maybe this is it. I just usually jump right into the hidden wiki. I guess if you want to just start browsing sites, just the hidden wiki is all you need. It'll just pull up linked lists that you can actually access. Just any of these. And all these sites you can access the deep web on. And I want to make something very clear. Do not buy anything on the deep web. It is a scam. And if it's not a scam, it's a federal honeypot. Oh, what's a federal honeypot? A federal honeypot is a website created by the federal government to get little retards that would buy that drugs, firearms, other stuff. You know what I'm saying, right? And then what they have them. They got them. They got all their banking information so they can track them down and make a sting. So do not buy anything on the deep web. It is a scam. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about Tails. Yeah. So if you want to shut down the operating system, you're just going to come over here, hit that, and then there, it's shutting down. Alright. Done. Actually, let me put this back. Alright, well, I accidentally deleted the one in my actual drive, my virtual machine folders. That's just going to be there till the end of this recording. But, that is it. That's honestly it. It's not hard at all. There is another way to do it, which I will link that in the description because Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers already made a video on that years ago, and it still works. It's essentially how to load Tails from a USB. So you plug it in, you shut down your computer, you plug in that USB in, you shut it back on, and it'll boot up Tails from that that USB. It's using bootloaders and stuff like that. Yeah. That's gonna be it for this video. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That now you can use a virtual machine. One thing I can say is this method can be used for any virtual machine. Actually, you know what? I'm not done yet. I'm gonna install another virtual machine just to show you that it can be done. So what is it called? TempleOS. Let's go install TempleOS. Here it is. If you do not know TempleOS, you're missing out, man. You are really missing out. Alright. Let's just get... Which one do I get? The TempleOS distro.iso? That makes sense. 16 megabytes. Thanks, Terry. Terry Davis. What a guy. Alright. So, let me check my downloads. Boom. Take this over to here. Boom. Okay, VMware. Once it loads, player, file, new virtual machine. Hopefully this works because if you don't know, TempleOS is made by the genius Terry Davis, who's actually a very talented programmer. Let's just do other. I don't even know what to do because it's not if I'm not mistaken, it's based on its own kernel, not a Linux one, nothing. It's just because he made his own compiler and operating system from the ground up, and it shows, but he still did it. So I don't know what kernel it's based on, so I'm just gonna do other. Hopefully it works out. So just TempleOS, God's operating system. Store as single file. Customize hardware. You don't just give it 2 gigabytes of RAM processor. I'm just gonna be generous and give it 2 because there are games on here. Close, finish. Hopefully everything works out because I'm not sure if it will because it's a weird little operating system. Oh, no way. It worked. Woo! God's operating system, everybody. I forgot. Is this actually the... I gotta be able to zoom in. How do I zoom in? I can't. This is unwatchable. This is undoable. That is the primary resolution. So it worked. This is just to show you that the other virtual machines work. I don't know how to navigate this. Install onto hard drive. Oh wait, because this is the install. Install onto hard drive. Yes. Are you installing inside VMware? Yes. Is there a normal for this freeze for yeah, just press any key. So we're installing the TempleOS, my favorite operating system. I will link a video to a down the rabbit hole video on Terry Davis. TempleOS old boot record. Yeah, just do old boot record. What? Is it not working? Okay, it's doing its thing. Okay. Because Terry Davis is an interesting fellow. Yeah. He was a paranoid schizophrenic, violently racist, but a genius. And he made this operating system from the ground up because he got a message from God to create the fourth temple. No. A new temple. For God, and he made TempleOS. And I think it's just time we shut down this operating system. It's not having a good time. And I'm never going to open up TempleOS again. So, yeah. But yeah, he made God's temple. He also said that there is a fourth person in the holy quadruple. I don't know. It's the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the RNG, the random number generator. Terry is an interesting fellow, let me tell you. But this video's gone on for way too long. You saw me install Tails. You can use the deep web now. I also proved that you can use VMware for anything else, even TempleOS. So thank you for watching this. If you liked it, consider liking, commenting, maybe even subscribing. If you didn't like it, just go ahead and report me. This is me, Baby Couscous, and I am signing out.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my love.